about it, but it is a problem in the town, so it's really not a design or a company problem, it's not a warranty problem.
So why would the warranty pay for it twice?
Because they never did it, they never took the time to test the water. To do this project, we had the water tested, we had an engineer test the water to determine if that part of the problem, and it was deemed by the engineers that part of the problem was quality type of water that we're getting is part of what's causing the problem. Well, they think a big portion of the problem is due to the water. We should have had a filtration system, or a filtration system would be the way to go in order to resolve that problem.
So
Unless the town did something different with their water.
So that issue wasn't caught 2 times before. So had we put in a filtration system come over throughout the last 20 years, we would have been able to cost the replacements.
Yeah, well, the last 2 times it didn't cost us because they covered it under the warranty. So now they won't cover it under warranty anymore because they deem, well, there's got to be something other than what the situation is. It's got to be a problem for them. So they're not going to cover it again because unless we do something different to resolve the water problem, they're not covering it again under this third time. So we have no choice to whether we take it out of the project, and we would be responsible for the whole, repairing of this new third time. We need to put a new system in, whether we go through MSBA or not, we still have to do something with our hot water system. We have 2 tanks, 1 tank is down and can't be repaired. If we patch the second one, if that goes down, we're out of hot water, we'd have to close the school down until we got it back, and it could take us as long as 2 weeks to get the system back up and running. So we are very vulnerable right now with regards to our hot water, that hot water system. We've patched it, we feel like we know look at it, and they feel like we can probably maintain it, through the summer. We've got to do something with it this summer, so we don't have a lot of choice with regards to that. Rating peak, I think part of that, for its time back in the day, 10 years ago, when they were in Europe, they were using water inspection system, not a lot in the United States. So they use this type of system, and since they use this type of system, they've learned that there are better ways to insulate it than the methods they use, and there are better controls to use than the controls we used when they initially did this system. So it really is a design fault, but not in that anyone made a mistake. It was a design that just has not panned out to be as effective as they expected it to be. And part of the problem is every time we do repairs on this system, they move it, basically it's just fiberglass insulation that they put over the radiant heat, and over time it's gotten moisture, and so the insulation's lost its effectiveness. So if we had basically an R factor of 16, we're probably down to an R factor of 2 or 3, so it's lost its effectiveness, and a lot of it's missing because they pull it out and they don't put it back properly, and so that's part of the problem. And then a lot of the controls themselves, we've had to replace a lot of the controls because their main controls are covering too long in many cases.
If we were to rank these 1 to 7 minutes,
Yes.
1 to 7, what would be 1? What would be used to rank these on top of
Yeah, well, I guess number 1 would definitely be the chiller. Shop ventilation would be number 1, and chiller plant would be number 2. And then number 3 would be the domestic hot water. Well, actually, no, I'm going to put that 2, and put the chiller system 3, because shop ventilation is critical for health reasons. Domestic hot water, we can't keep the school running unless we get that resolved. And the chiller plant would be the 3rd thing that is the next most important. The gradient, of course, the VFD controls is a no-brainer because we're not paying anything for that. Well, we're paying 20%, but they've covered that, and that's going to be substantially beneficial to us. That's number 4. Radiant heat would be number 5. Would be actually, I put radiant heat last. I put the full 5, and I put the radiant heat last.
Mr. Rossi?
I think some of my questions.
Okay, so I move on then?
I have some others. You said that the shop ventilation would be a top priority for the time.
Yes, so that's,
So,
well, if, I would not take that up, even if they weren't paying for it, that's something absolutely has to happen.
if we took, the boiler replacement out of that,
Yeah.
okay, and we tallied up the others, does anybody have an idea on what?
2.139988, what's 2.1 million?
I have some, I have a lot of numbers here, some scenarios you could do, if one can cover that.
I think it might be a good idea before we.
Yeah, but before we go, let me get the questions out.
Okay,
What else?
and, I just want to say that, I think that chiller is very important. Because anybody that's worked in this building knows that's
You're talking from experience?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's very important. Just keep it in. That's it.
Yes, Jimmy?
I'm sorry, I was just going to say, looking at this here, I would switch the pool for the chiller plant, to be honest with you.
Denise?
Has there been a study done as far as the heating for a full school or whatever it's last year, as for energy efficiency or mass saves or a state program that would contact have community and energy audits?
I'm trying to think, we had a wonderful power audit a few years back, I'm trying to think if we had the heating system.
So I think it would be a good idea.
Yeah.
We did have no permission.
Yeah, we had a commission, we did have commissioning done to identify all the issues and problems with the heating system. A lot of, through the commissioning, we repaired, there was much more, there were many more issues than we have here, because a lot of it was repaired through the commissioning about 4 years ago. So it's not anywhere as bad as it was, we spent probably $500,000 on that, more than that, commissioning itself, almost $500,000 plus all repairs. So a lot of that's taken care of then, and to kind of upgrade it and get it to where it needs to be.
Nowadays, I'm sure there's a lot of some energy efficient programs. Hopefully it'll be less costly for the school and those done with the right opportunities are part of.
Well, that was part of the engineer's process in this process. The engineers looked at our heating system and kept, one of the things that they, and that for the boiler replacement, in order to make our boiler system more efficient, they were removing one of the bigger Brooks boiler, which is, we have 3 huge boilers as part of our system. They were removing one and putting 8 module boilers in, so it would be more effective, more efficient on the, in the spring and in the fall. Then, and we can control the heat, and use a lot less energy. That was the whole idea of this new boiler replacement system, which was part of the study that happened just this past 3 months when they did this study there. So that was part of trying to come up with the most efficient boiler system at the least amount of money.
But what about so boiler systems, or what about the heat that's coming from the boiler system into the rooms? Did you know how you said that it's inefficient with panels and things like that? So as far as the room is concerned and how the heat is getting there, like that's what I was thinking more or less rather than how the heat is actually.
Here, they looked at that because the radiant heat was a big part of it. And there are more efficient ways than the radiant heat, but it would be triple the cost of what this is, and they figured it wasn't cost effective. So we didn't go that route. They didn't recommend that. That was another system. We also looked at the window situation, and the window is another big part of it. But that also was not cost effective because these windows are less than 10 years old. To replace them all would have been almost as much as the project that's here. And MSBA would not have funded it, but they're still new.
Is there a way to do like a section at a time, like maybe a whole entire or whatever, like a section of it, you know?
Possibly, if we can discuss that down, let's go on this subject up. Did you have something on this? John, you want to go over a couple of your scenarios?
Yeah, I have some numbers here that,
And
also the numbers and what the numbers cover, right? Okay.
Okay, so right now, if we would keep everything in the project, we'd be looking at $2,774,503. So if we take the boiler out of the project, we're at $2,139,988. Yep.
That's gonna be scenario number one that you're gonna.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All minus board.
Yes, just
Okay.
removing the boiler.
Right, not to put you on the spot when you're all done, I'm gonna ask you for your which one, okay, we'll just say I'm gonna ask you for your recommendation.
Yep. Now, if we wanted to do this project and we thought we'd have a difficult time getting it to the cities and towns, this is only one suggestion. We could do two things to try to offset the cost. Right now, we are assessing our town $60,000 a year for capital improvements, and we're assessing $60,000 a year for for repairs and other items that might come up in the building. So that's $120,000 a year. If we were to not assess them that for the next 10 years, that would be a savings of $1.2 million. If we took that out of the project, $1.2 million, we would be then looking for the towns to do the whole project, other than the boiler, $1 million we'd be assessing if we wanted to do that.
We've checked on the legality of that.
Well, what would happen is the cities and towns would still be paying the $2.139 million, but they wouldn't be, we would no longer charge them $100 million. So they're still going to get assessed the $2.1 million, only we're not going to assess them for the $120,000 every year. So the extra money ends up being $1 million more than what we're assessing now. So it's an increase of about $1 million more than what we're assessing now, which is what the original project was going to be when we first started, hoping everything would be in there.
So
Yes, Abel?
So 2.1 mil is what was proposed.
Yes.
So if we were to take 60,000 plus 60,000, that's 120 times 4, that's 480, right? Check, 480,000 a year amongst all.
Well, 120,000 is the one.
Oh, amongst all.
Sorry.
Yeah, okay, forget it.
Sorry. Don't we
So
go back?
120 grand amongst all of them over 10 years would be 1.2 mil. So we would save them 1.2 mil, and they would have to pay. So they would have to pay it. They don't pay it.
They'd be still giving us that, but it would be going towards this project. Instead of us taking the money and using it for things that may come up, we wouldn't have the money for the next 10 years. We wouldn't be assessing them, at least for now, anything towards capital improvement. 5 years down the road, things got better, we could then bring it to them if we thought there was support for it. If not, then, well, one of the advantages, I think, if we do that, what we'd be banking on is that there is going to be some energy savings, and some of that money would offset the $120,000 that we're losing from the cities and towns. If the engineers' numbers are right, they're saying it's going to save us 40% in energy costs. So, given that, we're going to have not the full 120, but we might be saving another $80,000 a year, which we then would be looking at putting that, using that money for any repair. We would have to spend the money for the Chapter 74 money. We'd have to spend it wisely towards, try to use some of it towards keeping the building repaired where we see something like that. So we'd have to be working wisely, using our money wisely in terms of how we'd have to have a good maintenance plan in place and directing a certain amount of money every year. Savings on energy we want to use towards our neighborhoods in order to get this project done. So that's just one scenario.
But are you gonna charge it to them up front and then not charge them for the rest of the 20 years, or are they almost financing it when they pay
10
every
years,
year?
10 years.
It ends up being part of the finance.
Okay.
Yeah. And the thing I would say is that this $120,000, Lawrence pays 74% of that $120,000 a year because it's based on student population. So it's the same scenario as it is for the assessment that we would be charging them for the project. The percentages for each town is the same. So it's not going to cost the city of Lawrence any more money. It stays the same for everybody. Okay. So So that's just one scenario. The other scenario I was looking at, oh, sure.
So can that be put in like writing so that we're all, you know, keep track of, you know, when you finally decide.
Yeah.
When you
Oh,
finally
sure.
decide, like, we should have it in writing so that, you know, when it's discussed, we'll have it.
Yeah.
Something.
Sure. Yeah, I'll put it in layman's language so everyone can clearly understand what everything means. Because we're gonna have to explain to cities and towns also, they have to have clear understanding of what that means to them when we bring it to them.
This is your question?
Actually, John answered it in his narrative.
Good. Mr. Rossi?
So John, there's still another $1 million.
There's still another million that we're gonna have to add to the assessment, which is where we started the whole project, expecting. That was our expectations in the beginning. That was the 20% that we were expecting to charge. Now, if we didn't want to use all the 16, we wanted to use half of it, we would then, we could assess the town 1.5 million, which is 500,000. Only use 60,000 of that money and still keep 60,000 in the budget each year that we assess them for. But then that would push this project requirement up to 1.5 million. So we're looking for an extra 60,000 doing it this way. But we could take, I think we have about 300,000 in capital improvement money right now, Leon. If we wanted to offset it, we could use 300,000 of that money and get it down to 1.3 million, which is 339,000 more than the 1 million. It's another way to go if we want to cover everything, but this is considering, my recommendation is to try to come up with a way of funding everything but the boiler. And these are options we have in order to do that.
Okay, but what's your final drop dead recommendation? What do you, one second, Tom. What do you feel comfortable with? I mean, do you feel comfortable on totally erasing the capital improvement?
My feeling is that I would like to go with the point where we ask for 1.3 million, where we would keep 60,000 a year in the budget and try to fund capital at 300,000. What we have in our capital now, which means it's going to deplete us a little bit. I mean, we're going to be down. We're going to get some money back on what we've already spent on MSBA, planned on 100-some thousand. So we'll have a little bit of money left in there, but not a lot of substantial money. So what we have to look at is, like one of the capital budget things we're looking at is a new machine for metal fab, which is $90,000. We'd have to look at our energy costs savings each year and put it towards that machine the following year, or at the end of the year with the savings. We have to, that's provided we believe our engineers' numbers in terms of what the savings would be. We would have, that's the way we have to play. We have to look at funds that we were going to use in the past, try to use Chapter 70 money that we saved on energy to fund our other capital budget, capital improvement problems or issues that come up. But we would still have some money at 60,000 a year to try to start to build that up again slowly, build our capital.
So if I understand, you want to eliminate the boiler altogether from this project. That 1.3 million, is that also keeping the pool in, right?
Yeah, it keeps everything in there but the boiler.
Tom?
I'm concerned with all the other capital improvements. Is that this
Let me just speak to that a little bit. There's two things going on at the state level. Right now, MSBA is meeting with MAVA to look at providing, we just got a grant to pay for the olive body project, $50,000. We just got a $50,000 grant to pay for that. We put in, the state offered $1.2 million in grants to try to fund some of the capital improvement projects at vocational schools. The state is meeting with